Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Dominic, and welcome to United Sauce and Wingers. I hope everybody is well, had a good day. We've come down to the end of the week. It's Friday then. It's Sunday, Monday. I'm feeling it, Sean. We come off the back of a 4-0 win against Real Sociedad. I'm enjoying it because we've got to enjoy it as Manchester United fans. Today, this is the Newcastle preview. On Sunday evening, we play Newcastle, and we know what it's like. We know what sort of team they're going to play, how they're going to play, but we're going to break it down. We're going to give you our lineups. We're going to give you our formation, our tactics behind it. And for me, this show is called that we have to start one man. This is for me. This is not for Sean, but for me, we have to start one man. And I'm going to reveal that one man as I talk about my team just a bit later on in the show. But thank you so much for joining in. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thank you again. Sean, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, all good, man. Looking forward to the match. Obviously, still buzzing after last night's result. And it's Friday, man. It's just feeling a little bit under the weather today. But other than that, it's all good, man. Let's get it cracking.
Mate, it's Friday then, mate. You know what, right? I'm in a situation right now where I'm feeling to myself that Newcastle are 17th. Okay, let's just get straight into it. Newcastle are 17th in the table. Again, I hate looking at where teams are because when we turn up, it doesn't really matter anymore.
This is what you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, why are you doing that? Just stop it. Don't look, I never look at the table, bro. I just don't do it. It doesn't matter.
I do it, John. You know why I do it?
Why? No, I don't know. Tell me, go on.
Every other team, I look at the table saying, "Oh, they got Newcastle. They're 17th," and you have to look where they are because if we don't look where we are, that means we will never say we've been top or we're second. If we're saying that we're second and we're acknowledging that, we have to acknowledge the teams we're playing where they are. Yes or no?
I see where you're coming from with that. Yeah, absolutely. I just don't. To be honest, I look at where we are, and that's it. And then I look at each opponent as their Premier League opponent, the strong opponent, whether they're 10th, 100th, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We've got to approach every game with the same mentality. And I feel like if you're looking and studying the table and like, this team's 17th, this team's 20th, we should smash them. It's like subconsciously, you're already going into the match expecting it to be something that it's not going to be. So
this
I just choose not to do it.
This is perfect because Carl Lewis says, "Hi guys, Newcastle away, man. We are slapping them." So look, we've really got it. You know what? That's funny. You know what? I keep getting this every time I go on like Mr. Aaron United shows or the Football Terrace, even United Stand when I went on. People keep saying I look like Rants and Bants on roids. I keep getting this all the time.
Interesting. Do you know what, Dom?
We look alike.
Let me have a look.
I don't think we look alike.
I can kind of see it.
Really?
I can kind of see it, you know, bro. Yeah, nah. He's slightly better looking, but
easy. Let's not go down there, mate. Mate, come on, let's not go down there, mate. Look. You're such a absolute. You know what, guys? Who does Sean look like? Let's get this in. If you want to start saying I look like Ren, who do you look like, mate? Because I'm thinking about like Eddie Murphy out Coming to America. Are you thinking that sort of?
Well, I'll take that. Eddie Murphy, he used to get all the chicks, bro. I'll take that all day long.
I'll take that, mate. You take it well. Well done, mate. You think you take it well. Some would say Dommy looks like Rant and Fleck. Oh, geez. I've had people say like Fleck as well, United Stand.
No, I'm not having that one. No.
I don't think so, right?
I don't see that at all.
Look, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I am 18 point. Actually, I'm nearly 19 stone. This lockdown's hit me hard, but yeah, that's who I am. I just like going gym and eating. But let's go back to Newcastle. So look, they're 17th for the table, right? And the reason I say they're 17th is because we always say where we are. And if we're acknowledging where we are, we have to acknowledge the team we're playing. The team will acknowledge where they are. Newcastle will say we are 17th. We have to win. We say we're second. We have to win. Yeah. So it's one of those situations where we have to acknowledge it. So if we look at the Premier League form, bro, we've got, for us, it's a win, loss, win. It's a win, loss, draw, win, draw, right? Newcastle are basically, in their last 5 games, well, it's a loss, win, loss. They're not doing very well. They're not doing very well at all. They got a win in their last game before that, but before that, it's just been up and down. And that's why they're 17th, okay? I'm looking at what Ollie said in the press conference. Mm-hmm. Someone actually asked him a really tough question. They said, look, you keep kind of going up and down. How can you keep that X factor and actually bring some consistency to your game? And he said that we have to adapt. We have to adapt, and we have to play differently and understand that not all teams will play a high line. Some people do low block. So he knows what we say on every single stream.
Of course he
why
does.
is he not changing it then?
Dom, when you say he's not changing it, you got to think, right? He has changed the team a lot. I feel like going back to the start of the season, we were playing 5 at the back, then we were playing the diamond in midfield. Now he's settled on a shape with the 4-2-3-1. And I feel that he feels like that gives us the most balance, gives us the most protection against the back 4, which we know is the weakness in this team. I say the back 4, the back 2, the 2 centre backs. So he's got the 2 centre midfielders screening. So then what you're looking at then is the front 4. And you'll see when with my team, and the way I look at it is like, we have got the talent and the players to be able to, when they're on song, let's put it right, when they're on song, when they're buzzing with confidence, they're on their top of their game, they can unpick any lock in world football. What we're not seeing though, in certain times, is a bit of immaturity in some of their play, because you have to remember our attack, apart from Bruno and Cavani, but Cavani hasn't been a mainstay in the team really. When you're talking about the likes of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, these are players are still not finished article players. These are still players that are developing. They're not your Mo Salahs, your Manes, who are at the peak of their career and the finished article. So what you're going to get with that is a certain level of inconsistency. And also they're still learning the different parts of the game. When you're up against these teams that are sitting back, how do we unpick them? How do we, what decisions do we need to make? How do we get our timing right? These are little intricacies which they need to develop. I think we also need, in terms of more creativity, to help with that. But I'm just coming from a focus of what we've got on the pitch and what they need to do, and basically to start making these games a lot easier for themselves. So I think it comes down to a lot of the individuals in terms of what we've got and when they're on form. Look at last season, right? People are saying, oh, we've solved how to beat these low block teams. People were saying that. Even this season, we were like, yeah, we've worked out how to do it, right?
Now we've gone back to square one.
And now we've gone back, and I feel like it's partly to do with a lot to do with a lot of our key players hadn't been on form in those attacking positions. The likes of Martial, we still haven't seen him get back to that form he was last season. And hopefully he looks sharp. But when he's on form, he's a handful and he's a problem for anybody. So there's a lot of factors to it.
No, I hear you, man. Let's get in the comments. Ronan, even though, how you doing, my brother? Hope you're all good and all well. I love this name. What you talking about, Willis? So obviously this show is talking about we have to play one player. I kept it kind of like a hold it out to let you know who it was. What you talking about, Willis says, I bet it's one matter. Well, you'll find out soon. Has to be by. It could be by. Cliss, what's going on? Big up, everyone. Let's get 3 points. We have to get 3 points. We can't let Man City run away with it. Solskjaer came out today in press conference and said, look, our aim is to be second. Our aim is to be second. He actually came out and gave us targets. You know what I do? I appreciate that. I respect that he said that he's given targets out. Do you know what I mean, Sean? That's realistic. We're never going to win the Premier League.
Is that? Yeah, I haven't watched the press conference today. I've been busy with work. But is that those are his words? Yeah, Dom.
Words. He said that second's our target. Like that's what we want to do. He said it like we won't let Man City run away with it. He's called them out and actually put pressure on himself to come out and say that. That's not a safe answer for me. That is not a safe answer. So I respect him for that. But now the pressure is on. Sorry, not sorry, flicking like that. Even everyone, hope you're all well. Just smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. I appreciate that, Ian. Ian as well. Even everyone. Carl Lewis obviously talked about West Ham. Ollie said now we can all see Dan Hammer's X Factor. He must be talking about X Factor audition or something. Wow. Carl Lewis is has begun. Sandro, Wagwan, my bros, been missing but much love. Yes, Sandro, I hope you're well.
Big up, Sandro. Big up.
What you're talking about, Willis? Every time I've got to read out these comments because I love saying that. It's going to be Stevie Bruce, Park the Bus special. Big,
100.
big time. And guys, this is why my team, you might be surprised, but this exact comment is why I've started my team. And I'll tell you, teams at the bottom of the league, tough match for United. It's true. It's true. It's weird. Like we can't beat like the lower teams. It's just we step up. Real Sociedad, Sean. Be honest. Real Sociedad. People were like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I was one of the few that on Mr. Ari United stream, I said to him, I think it's going to be 3-0 because some reason we step up. And I said to you before, Rashford likes to play in these different stages to get his name out there. Even though he didn't play amazing, people are still talking about his goal. People are still talking about his assist. In honesty, I don't think they class it as an assist because it was just freaking all the defenders fell over. Do you know what I mean? But it was a very dangerous ball.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous ball. What we got here, Sean is Ty from AFTV. Mate, he's 10 times bigger than Ty, better looking than Ty. And I'll be honest with you, Sean's a businessman, so I don't think so.
Big up, Ankit.
Yeah, Ian, here we go. We're in the position we are. We're second, and of course, your ambition then is not to end any lower than that. We're going to have to get a good run together. Big time, big time. What you're talking about, they're already ran with it, Dom. It's 10 points, better goal difference. And then they've only dropped 1 point since December and 1 and 3 on the bounce. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, look, we're in a situation where we've got to go out and win this game. And we're going to get our team lineup soon. And guys, I want you to vote on which team you think is going to put us in a better stead. For me, my team is a mixture of what I'd like to see and also what I think Ollie will do because he's very stubborn, which isn't a bad thing. Some of the most successful managers in the world are stubborn. But at the same time, stubbornness could actually prevent you from actually seeing the potential, the full potential of your team. But just to getting out there, the team news at the moment in terms of injuries, Paul Pogba's still out. Jones is still, I don't know what he's doing. He's playing on his iPad. I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully he'll get a move and he can go and be happy and play football because I know he loves football. He's just not worked out for him at Manchester United. DVB and Cavani are being assessed, which basically means they're available. I don't believe Ollie when he says they're being assessed. They're available. And McTominay is a doubt as well. So that's the sort of injury we're looking at. Guys, we're going to go straight into the teams. I want to go straight into the teams and understand what the thought process is because, again, my thinking is we're going to be playing a low block. It's going to be a low block we're going to be playing against, and that needs to be responded to by the team selection, not over from Ollie, but what Sean's going to come up with. So, Sean, we're going to go straight into your team selection, bro. Talk us through your team selection, and I'm just going to take away your little bit in a second as well. Talk us through your team selection, bro.
Okay, so we've gone with the trusted 4-2-3-1. Back four, so the starting goal, I've been saying it, for me, Henderson's looked safe as houses every time he's played. De Gea's made too many mistakes. I want to see what Henderson can do in the Premier League. And for me, we need to give him a run of games now to see what he's got until the end of the season. Because for me, De Gea, like I said, he's lost all that credit. We've got to move on from him. So I want to see what Henderson can do. Bring back in Luke Shaw. We know how essential he's going to be. They've got a bundle of energy on that side with Almiron. So we need Luke Shaw flying up and down, not only from an attacking sense, but also he needs to have a safe and strong performance at the back. In the midfield, I've gone with, I brought in Bailly for Lindelof. I want to see Bailly in there now. I'm calling him the life insurance for the fridge, or the fridge insurance, because we need his pace. We just look so much more assured when he's in the team. Maguire looks more comfortable. I've always said it, for me, it's just keeping him fit. And he's shown a consistent run now of performances. So when he's fit, for me, he's got to play. Wan-Bissaka does what he does. Moving on, midfield. Now, I've gone with the trusted duo, McFred. And the reason I've done that is because we need to have the energy, right? Liverpool.
People were saying, people
so
calling
Newcastle.
You out here, bro. People
that's cool,
you
man.
out about McFred.
Yeah, that's all good, mate. Let them talk, because we need that energy in the midfield. You got John Joe Shelby in there. Depends who they go with, whether it's Hendrick or one other combination in there. But what we need is the high energy. We need to keep on the ball, and we need to release it early, like they did the other night against Sociedad, and let the front players do what they got to do. That will give cover to the back four. So for me,
Vibes FC here saying we'll have control of possession, which I agree with. So I don't think McFred is needed. Donny in a pivot is the answer. So what do you say to, if we have possession, why do we need McFred?
I'll tell you why, because they're going to hit us on the counter. They've got what they did, if you remember in the last game, and what I've seen Newcastle do. They're going to sit back and they can try and hit us on the counter. Yeah, they've got lightning pace with Almiron, Saint Maximin, and we need and Gale, and if Wilson plays as well, they're dangerous. He's out. Okay, so it's going to be Dwight Gale.
Yeah.
So they're dangerous, right, on the attack. So for me, I've got enough faith in our front four to get on with and do what they got to do. I don't have enough faith in Donny van der Beek defensively. I'll just keep it 100. People might disagree with me. He's not a defensively first-minded player. He's an attacking midfield player. All his best attributes are going forward. So for me, I need that insurance. I need the defensively minded players in there, and let the front four do what they got to do. So in terms of creativity and opening them up, we've got Bruno, the main man, to do what he's got to do. Yeah, if Pogba was fit, Pogba would definitely be playing in there for me because he can do a bit of both. Greenwood off the right, he's looking sharp. He's on form. Rashford off the left. And the key man for me in this game to unlocking this defense, as much as I love Cavani, he was way off it. He was totally anonymous against West Brom, and he's been injured. So for me, even if he is fit, I'm not starting him. Tony came on off the bench yesterday and looked super, super sharp. He was holding up the ball, linking up the play. And for me, if we can get Tony Martial like he was playing at the back end of last season, right, he is a danger, and he has the ability to open up a low block defense. Because how many times have you seen him, and it was more prevalent at the back end of last season, in and around the box, linking up with Bruno, linking up with Martial, nice, neat 1-2s, sharp movements, and more often than not, he was getting slipped through, and he's either going through on goal and scoring, or he's getting taken out, and we're winning penalty after penalty after penalty, right? So for me, I need to see that Martial back, and I feel like he's getting to that point where he can help us with that sharp movement and clinical finishing, which we need to bring something a little bit different. I feel like Cavani up there, as much as his movement's good, it's like we need a bit more unpredictability, which we haven't had in the recent games against the low block teams. And an on-form Martial and an on-form Rashford, an on-form Bruno, on-form Greenwood would be too much for Newcastle.
You know what, right? I hear you, man. It's just for me, I feel like this is a team we would play potentially against a top 6 team where we might not have the ball as much. Like, this is what I mean about Ollie's press conference when he said that we need to adapt. And when we play against low block teams, we don't create. And this is what Sufan's point is saying. We've played McFred against so many low block teams and they fail to create. For me, Fred is good when he's combative in his own half. And sometimes when he's got the ability to run forward, like against Leeds and against Real Sociedad, he's okay. But he's limited in his approach. So playing McFred, it's essentially we're thinking that we're not going to have the ball, but I really do think.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they are going to absolutely sit back, and I'm saying these guys are insurance. They're not there to create in my team. They're there to guard us against the counter attack. They're there to win the ball back and give it quickly, right?
Yeah,
recycle the possession, which is what they can do.
Bro. We haven't been doing that. There's no evidence to show that we've been doing that. There's so many times we played against a low block with this McFred. And I know you want to. I get you. You want to give it off to the front four to do the
front four. It's not down. It's not just down to McFred though. People are saying it's like that's the only place where you can get creativity from. It's not. If the front players do their job, if Rashford's on form and Bruno and Greenwood do their job, they're on. They're good enough to unlock these teams.
What you're saying is completely true, but we're not seeing that. They're not good enough at the moment. The front four. That's what we're trying to say.
But Martial wasn't playing up front in the last game. That's the change I've made.
Okay, so you think Martial will completely change?
That's why I've said he's the one to watch, because when he was on form last season, he was ripping every defense to shreds.
Is he on form now?
I'm saying he came on to me. I don't know what anybody else saw, but his half an hour last night, he was sharp. He was taking care of the ball. He was doing nice touches. This is what I'm saying to you, Dom. You have to play to be on form. And from what I'm seeing, the signs that I saw last night, it looked like he could be coming back into form. So I'm going to, in my mind, if I'm the coach and I'm the manager, I'm saying build on that performance and show me why you should be starting in the team. Let's make something happen for us.
Just thanks you guys so much for joining in. This is Sean's team. Sean comes from a football background as well. He teaches kids and he's played at different clubs as well. So he knows he's coming from a football sort of perspective and hoping that the team can find the form. He's doing McFred because he wants to make sure that we don't get countered. And he wants McFred to pass off to front four players, hoping that Martial unlocks that creativity. That's what you basically saw.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And if you saw against West Brom, when we brought Donny on into the game, we were getting hit. Even, who was it, West Brom? Yeah, they were hitting us on the counter-attack. We were open. We were so open. And I don't want to see that from the start. You can always change it later if we're chasing the game.
All right, fine. Okay, that's his starting, guys. Let us know what your thoughts are in terms of, what team you want to see and how you're going to see it. We're going to go to my team, and I'm going to give you an idea of why essentially I'm doing this team. Let me just get this up properly, and I'm going to show
come
you
with something crazy. Let me see.
I'm going to show you who I want to bring in this team.
Let's have a look. The anticipation is building.
I'm doing it. One sec. I need to do this properly. If you can't see that properly, if you can't see that properly, that is Juan Mata. Juan Mata, right? And I'm going to talk about this, okay? We're in a situation, guys, right, where we can't play against a low block. We can't play against a low block. It's happened against Sheffield United, West Brom. We've seen it. We struggle. And I know what Sean's saying in terms of, look, the front four should be able to do it. But at the moment, they're not. I understand he's saying that Martial, if he's on form, he can unlock those front four. I get it and allow McTominay and Fred just to hand off. But at the moment, I've seen no evidence whatsoever that we have a front four that's creative. And people might be saying, play Juan Mata. What do you mean? What do you mean? Guys, we can't beat a low block. We can't do it. There's no evidence showing that we can beat a low block. If you look at the video I just said, and I'll tweet it after this stream, I'll tweet out the video that I'm showing you. The connection between our best player, who could probably end up on 30 goals this season, I'm talking about Bruno Fernandes, the link-up play between Mata and Bruno is on a different level. They have a different way of playing and a different way of linking up, right? We are going to be hopefully camped right outside their box. We need someone to do something different, right? We've got Solskjaer coming out into the game yesterday, and he gave Mata some playing time. There's been a rumor that he actually gave Mata some time off. I don't know if it's something personal, whatever it is. But there's been games when we've need his experience because he's won things that half the team haven't won. We needed experience in terms of keeping the ball, keeping it moving. If you watch Juan Mata, after this, I implore all of you to go and watch Juan Mata. Look at a few clips on YouTube and see the way that he does pass and move. It's pass and move. If we're outside their box, we need pass and move. The reason that I haven't started Rashford, nothing to do with him, is because when we get tired in the second half, because we're pushing them along and they've been defending for a good 45 minutes, 60 minutes, Rashford will come on and destroy. For a fact, Rashford likes to run into space. He likes to get people when they're tired. They don't know where they're coming or going. And that is the strategic sort of way I'm trying to use Rashford. If you look at the back, I'll start from the back. We've got Henderson, who I feel like is his place to lose. Ollie's come out in a press conference and said, look, they asked him, is this Henderson going to be number one now? He said, look, we've got two great goalkeepers. Henderson's in with a shout, just De Gea. That's basically a lie. De Gea is going to start. We can see it. Henderson is going to be Europa League Cup competition keeper, and De Gea is going to be the Premier League. He's on far too much money just to drop him. But anyway, for me, I would love to see Henderson and see it's his position to lose. Shaw starts, obviously. Maguire starts with Bailly with Maguire. Maguire's a completely different person. AWD starts 100%. We go into midfield. Matic came on again the last game, and I think for this, he's going to be on our person just outside where Bruno is when we're camping them out, just to lay those balls off, right? And then you've got Fred to make sure that counter-attack doesn't happen. And that's why I put Fred there, to make sure that counter-attack doesn't happen. Then you've got Martial, who is great. All these front four players, right, bar Bruno, are great with their touch and 1-2 thinking. Cavani does 1-2 touches. Mata does 1-2 touches. And what Mata does when he plays with Bruno, he makes Bruno play smart and more clever. And they just start to play with each other. They forget about everybody else on the pitch and they play together. It's the Bruno and Mata show. So if we're playing a low block, Mata is going to be the one to watch because he will allow Martial and Bruno to start playing nice tricks. Look, if Donny van de Beek was there, he would definitely be in contention for me in my Mata slot. If Diallo had more game time, he would definitely be in contention for me in that right wing slot. We have to change it up against a low block. There's no point playing the same team we play against the big teams that have more possession, I say big teams, and just think that we're going to do it. I like Cavani in there because hopefully we'll be camped out the box and see it. Let's see what people are saying about this.
Dom,
One sec.
So I got to ask you, man. So on that team, right?
Yeah.
I can see exactly where you're going with it. I like the concept of our four, because I'd say you've picked in terms of Martial, Bruno, and Mata, like you said, you've picked, along with probably Donny van der Beek as well, players who play the closest in terms of their style, 1 and 2 touch, pass and move. That's their preferred way of playing. But I would say that you've got to also take the opposition into account. And Juan Mata up against Alan Saint-Maximin, that is going to be, you're asking a lot on AWB, even though he can probably deal with it. But I think even against Saint-Maximin, we need to give him a bit of help. And I'll say
I've seen
equally,
Mata defend really well, Sean. He defends with his brain.
He's got no pace, man. What's he going to do when that guy runs at him?
I get that. And that's why we've got Fred on the counter-attack. Sean, this team is based on us having more of the ball and being camped out of the box. Sean,
but we're not going to be camped out for 90 minutes, bro. I'm
seriously frustrated that we can't. When we get outside the box, there's nothing. There's no movement. There's no invention. There's no creativity. I'm bored of seeing it.
I get it. Yeah, you want to see something different.
And you're saying that's at maximum, he's fast. And look, I get that. But that's why I've got Fred and AWB to cover. And I've seen Mata. He knows he's not fast. So he defends a bit. He backs off a bit. And that actually allows for the team to press a bit more. I need Ollie. I need the team. I need the fans to understand that the low block, we are not working. I tweeted out earlier that when we play low block, it's like we're building a sandcastle and we fall over it. We can't do it, man. So for me, we need something different. And Mata is probably the most experienced player creatively and that we have on the pitch in terms of what he's won in that position.
No, I hear you, bro. I agree. And I'm saying, what does that say, though, about our other players who you've left out? So the likes of Mason Greenwood, the likes of Marcus Rashford. What are you saying? They're not good enough to play against the worst teams in the Premiership.
I've been honest with you. They're not good enough. I'm not saying they're not good enough. I'm using them tactically. I'm saying
if they're good enough, why are they not playing?
I'm telling you right now. I've seen Greenwood play against low box, Sean. I've seen him play, and he always tries to get his shot off, and they just crowd him. They crowd him. And what I need, we're playing Greenwood on the right when he's a striker. So his first thing is to shoot. I need someone on the right who's a playmaker, whose first thing is to try and get the ball to Cavani in the box. I need Rashford is one of those people that he likes to stop with the ball and do these nice crosses. Fantastic. But his thing is, let me run into a brick wall. Let me run into a brick wall. I need someone who's not... Mata never runs into a brick wall. Have you ever seen Mata run into a brick wall? I'm not even seeing Bruno run into a brick wall. I need someone who's like, I don't need no rules. I'm going to find a flicking opening and make it happen. And that's why I'm putting Mata and that Bruno link up, which is fire, and Martial with that depth touch, just to mix it up. I need to break down a low block. I need pass and move, triangles. I need someone to make an overlap. And Shaw, on that left, if we have pass and move and Bruno attracts all the players to him with Mata, Shaw's going to have some lovely little space on the left to whip in across and Cavani just to header it in. 100%. The only reason I'm not replaying DVB is because I don't think he's going to play for two reasons. He's an injury doubt and Ollie doesn't rate him. So I'm trying to do a team which is realistic, but also a mixture of what I want to see. Obviously, what I want to see is Mata. I know Ollie's not going to play him. If he did, I would rate him till my literally... I'll send him some of my son's birthday cake from yesterday. I'll send it. But I just don't think he's going to do it, man. We'll see what the comments are saying.
Yeah, what they say. What are people saying?
What are people saying? Oh Jesus, where we going? I need to go flicking up here. What we got? Yuan time Mata has to play. This team is very interesting. One day Mata with you. Physio, dude, I love that.
Physio.
I love that. What we got? Carl Lewis is saying, look, they have two creative midfielders, two creative fullbacks in the front three. Matic ball retention will be important. I think that too. And firing it through the line. Bruno and Mata's link up will be fire. 100% Sufan. Vida's saying for certain games, I understand playing McFred, but Newcastle at home, I don't think it's needed. I agree with that. Donny and Mata have great chemistry, by the way. Yes, I think they would have great chemistry. And that's Mata, Martial, and Donny van der Beek. They would play amazing together because they have the same level of IQ, ball retention. They can take the ball under pressure. That's the sort of team. That's the sort of team I love seeing, that they can say, give me the ball. I've got three brothers behind me, but give it to me because I'll do something and I trust myself. I believe myself. And that's why the likes of David Silva, Man City, they all do that. They give it to.
I don't want to see Matt's playing.
Mind this team for the game. Ronan's saying, good shout, Don. Forgot about Mata. Neji, my brother, what's going on? Donny for Fred, and that link up you're talking about will come from deep mid. Matic and DVB, perfect. Yeah, honestly, it could work because we'll have more of the ball, so Matic can hold. The only problem is hoping that the counter attack that DVB will be as potent as Fred, but he might be. He might actually be able to do that. Ian's saying, but Dom, do you think Ollie will not play Rashford? For me, again, Ollie will play Rashford. This is a mixture of what I see on the pitch, and people think, oh, why is he not playing Rashford? I don't get it. I get it. We need to use our players in it.
It's a sad indictment, Dom. It's
no,
a sad indictment.
No, it's not. It's not.
Because I'll tell you why. Because you don't see Klopp, right? Or imagine Klopp just dropping Mane or Salah, his best players. So I'll tell you why I'm comparing them. Because Rashford, I'm going to tell you why. Because
don't talk about Klopp, mate.
No, I'm going to tell you because he's our best. He's our best. Rashford, I said it yesterday. After Bruno, plus Lee Cavani, he's our best player. So you can't just say, but you can only play against the big games or in the top teams, right?
No, I'm not saying that. Rashford plays every single game.
No, but but you're dropping him now because you're saying he's not good enough to break down a low block.
No, I didn't say he's not good enough. Why are you changing my words? I never said
he's not good enough to break down. So if he was good enough to play a low block,
you completely taken my words.
So what are you saying?
Rashford's not good enough to break down a team. I said
to break a low block now.
No, I never said he's not good enough. I said that we've got Mata, who is a playmaker and links up with Bruno for a low block would potentially be more effective. And having Rashford come off the bench and a tired team who are freaking been running all around the place with all these playmakers trying to catch the ball, he would come on and probably score a hat-trick. I'm using him against a low block because we can't beat low blocks at the moment. I've never said that Rashford's not good enough to play his game. No way. Never said it.
I never said to play his game. I said against low block teams.
Yeah, I never said he's not good enough against low blocks.
To play low team. Okay, cool.
Never said that.
I just want to clear that up because
never said that.
We can't drop him for like that.
Wait,
and only use him in certain games because
no. But Sean, you get it wrong because he play in every game. You're saying that he's playing here and there.
That's because there's a reason for that because he's one of our best players.
Also, how many times have we not beaten a low block with Rashford?
But it's not because of Rashford. It's not just because of Rashford.
It's because of the team setup, and this is why I'm trying to change the team setup. Do you not understand this?
I do understand it, and I'm saying I think it's ludicrous to take our best player out, and put him on the bench because you think Man Mata is going to be better at opening up this low block than Rashford.
Because Rashford hasn't opened up the low block. So why? This is the thing. You're acting like we can't bring Rashford off the bench and he's going to go on holiday. You're acting like he can't ever do it. What's the problem?
He shouldn't be. He can't be on the bench. So I'll tell you why, Dom. Because there's going to be so many times, right? 90%. Well, I would say 90% of the way we're trying to get when we get back to the top. Any manager worth their salts, let's say right now, 60-70% of the teams that are going to be playing low block football against us, right? So what are you saying? Just keep Rashford on the bench for all those games. And I'm trying to get where you're going with this because
you know what?
Do we against a low block team? Are you saying the only thing Rashford can only come off the bench? Is that what you're saying?
That honestly, I'm hoping you're joking around.
Is that what you're saying, Dom? Is that what you're saying to me?
This says it perfectly. The reason why we need to bring creative players is because we're not drilled well enough to consistently break down low blocks as it stands, Sean. If we in 6 months' time, we might be better at low blocks. But at the moment, we are not. Why keep banging your head on a flicking door and it's not working? You need to think outside the box, mate. You're a businessman, right? If it's not working, you can still keep selling strawberries, even though it tastes like rubbish. No, you're going to diversify your market and try different hypotheses or try a different experiment because you're not an idiot. Do you know what I mean? This is a situation, right? All of these players are good enough to beat Newcastle. We don't have to always rely on Rashford. And as Carl Lewis says, Sean wants to play Rashford and break his back like last season. We've got game after game after game. We've got Real Sociedad next game. We've got Chelsea. We've got Leicester. We've got Man City. There's nothing wrong with bringing Rashford off the bench and seeing if we do some creativity. Guys, thank you so much. Me and Sean, honestly, after every stream, me and Sean are just talking on the phone. We know each other for ages. Like, we get so freaking... He gets me so much. Honestly, I can't take this guy, but I freaking love him. Guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new. And guys, in the comments, just put Dominic or Sean's team based on what you think will be effective, not what Ollie will start or whatever.
This is my team. This is not. I didn't do this with Ollie in mind. I did this. If I was manager, this is the team that I'll play.
All you got to do is put Sean or Dominic, and let's get a quick vote
Get it cracking
on what you think would do it. I understand what you're saying, Sean, in terms of this, but for me, low blocked has not worked. Sean, Ollie's come out and said we need to adapt. So this is adaptation.
There's been times when it has, though. There's been times when Rashford, Greenwood, and Martial have been able to do it. They've been able to do it. So I'm saying when they're on form, they can do it. Yeah. And it's not just about bringing in one matter every time, right?
Because they're not on form against low blocks. So you keep saying if they're on form, they're not.
They haven't been on form in the recent games. No, they haven't. They haven't been. But I'm saying Martial came on yesterday, looked fantastic. Rashford looked fantastic. Bruno looked fantastic. The team, again, it's a collective, right? If the team is playing well and functioning, we will be able to do the job.
Yeah, if it's functioning. But remember, Sean, this wasn't a low block team, bro.
No, that's true.
You've got to remember, this is a completely different. Real Sociedad was the most naive and stubborn team I think I've ever seen in the Europa League. Yeah. They did not change their tactics and go, right, this high line ain't working. We're playing against people that love to run at us, and we could have scored 6 goals. We are playing a team who are going to sit back. We've seen it. Steve Bruce is the king of the low block, mate. He can dirty wine. He loves a low block, right? Why would you keep doing something?
That's why
you can't compare yesterday's game.
That's why I put Martial up front to give us that X factor up there. That's why I've done it.
Well, let's see
I think he's gonna light up.
Yeah, mate, if you played your team, I hope it works. All I'm saying to you is that for me, I've seen enough evidence to see that we can't play that low block teams. So give Matt a shout, who's creative, who's got a good link with Bruno.
No, I get your logic.
Rashford can come in and do his thing.
Yeah, I get your logic.
So we got Neji saying Dom, Ian saying Dom, Chris is saying Dom, Physio saying Sean, Carl saying Sean, Fiber saying Dom because I want to see something different for this game. Theodore saying Dom. Sufan saying Dom. I think it's tight, but I think I've just nipped that. And I don't think it's because your team's rubbish or anything, Sean. I think it's because we've seen so much evidence that we can't do a low block team.
People want to see something different. I get it. People are basically hoping, all right, let's bring in Mata. Hopefully he's going to change it for us. Yeah. And
it hasn't got
it might work. It's not the worst. It's not the worst side in the world.
It just needs to be someone who can pass the ball, pass the move, and we.
Yeah, but it has to be Mata because we haven't got anyone else that you can bring in.
Van de Beek would be good, but I don't know if he's going to be available.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him from the right hand side though.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean. They could be fluid. I don't know why we've lost this fluid thing. Did you see yesterday's game? Right, freaking Bruno in the first 15, 20 minutes was playing up front. Did you notice that he was ahead of?
Yeah. But he does that a lot because and he's so clever because he spotted what the team was doing. He was making those runs in behind, and he's such an intelligent football player, man. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's just something else.
You know what I love so much about yesterday, guys. Thanks so much for letting us know the teams. Hopefully, we just get the points, man. I freaking need the points, guys.
You know, we have to win, Dom. I can't even imagine coming here on Sunday, and we've drawn a 1-1 and it's a board draw, same old. I don't think I can stomach it, bro. Honestly, depending on how the game will go, that we would have to be looking at the team and also have to be going in on Ollie because we just can't keep doing it. We need to unpick this. Newcastle, Chelsea even beat them, right? Comfortably. We've got to find a way.
And that's why I don't want to go back to team again, but Sean, with your team, I wouldn't feel as confident and excited with your team because I've seen it played so much. I know Martial's different. I get that. But I've seen it played so many times against low block. And even if we've won a couple games, it's never been convincing. We've still gone down 1-0 and then had to come back. That's why with this team, I feel like on paper, we're setting up to do something different against low block. Do you know when you say, look, you've done something at work, right? It's not worked out. And then the next quarter, you come back with the same plan. And you're like, wait a minute, have you actually looked at what results and what figures are you looking at to come back with the same plan? How can you back that up? For me, if the guy comes back and says, you know what, I've took it on board, I've looked at what the evidence I have, I've made my own judgments, and I'm going to try and change it. It might not work, but I've got the right intentions behind
you're trying something different.
Then for me, I'm like, you know what, good. It might be right, it might be wrong. The team I'm going with Mata and Bruno, Martial and Cavani, is to try and get that low block sorted. Can you imagine if it works out and we're like, flicking hell, this is our low block team? And then
if you're talking about evidence, you can't talk as though Mata's never struggled against a low block team.
100%.
So we've seen Mata in these games, the Carling Cup games. Yeah. Mata's played and they're struggling. So I don't feel as though one Mata is this magic wand who's just gonna come and do it.
At the same time, if something's worked out recently and you're only as good as your last game, you don't just carry on with it and think, oh yeah, it's gonna work out because it's a Sunday night game. You've got to think, all right, maybe Matt is going to come in with a different vigor because he wants to prove himself and get that new contract in the summer. Because this is probably going to be his last biggest contract. Maybe he wants to prove himself and get.
I think he's done out here, bro. I think he's got to go, mate. Summer, I don't want to get him. I don't want to see Matt with a new contract. I don't want to see him in the club anymore. He's a model pro, but we've got to move on. We're not evolving if we end up giving him another contract, because how often is he playing? He's not playing enough. So
I hear it.
For me, I've kind of mentally moved on from Juan Mata already. And I feel like...
Yeah, but you might be surprised, bro, because we gave flicking Matic a contract and no one really saw that coming. We gave Phil Jones a contract, Andres Pereira a contract, and Lingard a contract when we knew he was going. So we give people contracts when we don't even think... We tried to give Foster Mensah a contract, mate, so don't hold your breath on that, bro.
I know, mate. I don't. And sometimes I wonder what the hell these guys are doing. But I feel like Mata's last contract was that contract that you're talking about. And I feel like now he's going to get moved on. But let's see. Let's see. We don't know.
Yeah, this is what, and this is what This is what my thinking as well. Same in AG. In order to break a low block, you need creative and.
I hear that. Yeah,
and that's 100%. Why I played the creative.
Dom, why have you played Matic then? Because Matic doesn't move the ball quick. No. He takes 100 touches on the ball.
No.
Before he moves it,
Matic takes 100 touches on the ball when we're up against it. Do you understand? When we're up against it and people are pressing us in our own half, that's when Matic takes too much time. When
he does it all the time.
When we've got the ball, we're outside the box, Sean. That's when Matic actually does those cutting through balls to the wing to Shaw. I've seen him do it so many times, bro.
Do you know what he also does, though, bro? Do you know what he also does when we got the ball and we're camped out the opposition box? He starts trying to run and dribble past 10 players down blind alleys.
Yeah, I've seen it. You're right.
Possession. That's what he does as well. He doesn't. That's why I play McFred and McTominay. Because they move the ball simple, quick. It's not creative, but they move it fast. Matic doesn't do that. And I don't understand. People are saying we need to break down a low block. You have to move the ball. If you look at Başakşehir, who was the midfield we had? We had McTominay, not McTominay. We had Matic and Van der Beek. The same partnership people are saying we want to see. What happened in that game away? We got stumped, bro. We got stumped, and that cost us our Champions League place. Sheffield United, Matic was playing again in that base of the midfield. He is a problem in these kind of games, bro.
No, Sean, when I do a different lineup, right? If I think sometimes you take someone as an individual, right? If you change one thing, right, and put different players, that's going to change the way that person plays. I've put in creative players in the front four. That's going to change the way that Matic plays. If they're all playing quick movement balls, Matic can't be like, oh, I'll hold on to it. But if we're playing people, for example, Rashford, who will get to the edge of the box, he'll stop for a second, he'll do loads of step overs. You know, he does a step over, he goes like that. Matic will start doing that. But when you've got freaking Mata, Van der Beek, Bruno doing the quickest balls, Matic you get into that rhythm of playing fast. You're like, yeah, I got to play fast too. I can't be the one to slow it down. And that's why I'm playing Matic there, because when we've got the ball, and if we play with our creative midfielders that play fast, quick, inventive football, Matic will have to jump on that train, baby, because he can't be the one slowing it down. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Bro, I do. I see what you're saying. I just think Matic, for me, when you're trying to move the ball quick, he's just not the one, bro. He's not the one, bro.
I think he's with the right system. Buggy Vibe, there's a Cavani okay to play. Ollie said in his press conference today that he's assessing it. I never trust Ollie. If Ollie wants to play Cavani, he'll put freaking wrap on him, toothpaste, dry it all up, and play him with one leg. So he's all right to play for me, man. Carlos saying, nah, sure, Matic holds onto the ball because he's waiting for the right pass, not passing for a sec. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
He runs down to blind alleys and gets tackled.
Yeah, but he's trying something. He's trying something. He does.
I don't want to see that.
He does.
Keep the ball moving. But on the one hand, right, you can't be saying I want to see pass and move quick football, and then on the other hand, be backing a guy running down blind alleys, because when Rashford runs down those blind alleys, he's a donkey. He's got no IQ.
No,
come on, man.
He does run down blind alleys, Rashford.
And so does Matic.
Yeah. I get that. I'm just saying that Rashford does.
But is Matic a donkey with no IQ when he does it, or is he being clever and waiting for the right pass?
You know what I said, right, about Rashford, and I talked about it on Twitter, and I said, look, I treat Rashford like he's my son. And I've got a son who's 3 years old, right? I want the best for my son, right? I want him to achieve all he can achieve and just be smashing it up in the world. That's how I feel about Rashford. I love the guy so much. I appreciate what he's done. He's 23 years old. His potential is unbelievable. But for me, like a dad, I'm like, if my son comes home and goes, I did this, I'm like, oh, that's good, but what can you do better? I'm trying to get the best out of Rashford because I know if he tweaks his game, listens to the coaching, watches back his videos, and tries to change his mindset, he could become world class. For me, right now, the trajectory that Rashford's on, he won't ever be better than Mbappe. He won't ever be better than Mbappe as a footballer. But if he tweaks his game, his decision making, he could surpass Mbappe. But at the moment, his decision making is not on the level of Mbappe. It's not. It's a fact.
Tom, that's a high bar, right? People are talking about Mbappe as the heir to the throne of Messi and Ronaldo. Whether you agree with that or not, I'm not saying I do necessarily. But what I'm saying, that's how he's regarded in world football, talking about one of the greatest players that's ever played the game. I'll say it right now. I don't think Rashford is ever going to be up in that upper echelon and go down in history as one of the best players to ever play the game. I don't see his ceiling as that high. He's got a high ceiling, but bloody hell, Dom. You see him as being it to compete with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo.
No.
Scoring 60 goals a season.
No, I'm not saying that. I think he could be the top 10, 15 in the world if he tweaks
that's ever played the game in the history of football.
No. I'm not saying history of football. No. I'm saying in generational sort of talent, the youth of this era. I think he could be one of the best youth of this era without a shadow of a doubt. Like, because Sean, if you look at it, technically Rashford, you pick up Rashford. I don't know why I'm trying to.
But Dom, you're taking it from there's being a top level player, but then there's going down into one of the best players that's ever played the game, and that's how people are talking about Mbappe.
Rashford's got 10 years.
So you can't compare him to that. It's not fair on him.
No. I think it's fair because Mbappe is the same sort of age as him. He's
younger,
at a young age, just like Rashford. He's doing numbers just like Rashford. But for me, he's clear of Rashford. And why he's clear of Rashford is his decision making. And that is what I'm trying to say. I love Rashford. And now why I'm critical of him is only because I want the best for him. I feel like if he tweaked his decision making and he can't even listen to coaches because I don't know what the coaches are telling him. But it just tried to improve his game. His decision making, he could become elite. He could become. Look at the sort of goals he scored. Right, he came off the scene out of nowhere. Right, scored 2 headers, made the Rashford's name. Right, he's got one of the best free kicks I've ever seen against Chelsea. Right, his technique is unbelievable if you think about it for his age. Right, but what lets him down is that the brother runs into these brick walls, and I don't know if he sees red and he can't hear anybody's thoughts. And his ears just block out. But something needs to happen because if he changes that, Sean, you know why Bruno played so well yesterday? Do you notice Bruno? He was doing these quick balls, but they were accurate. Did you notice?
Yeah.
And he changed into a completely different player. Could you imagine if Rashford just started playing quick passes like Diallo? Do you see Diallo, right? He came on for 10 minutes. He had a couple touches, but that ball to Martial, when he was in his stride and he let it go, he just let it go.
Nice. It was sexy, man.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I want from Rashford because if he add that sort of element to his game, there's honestly the sky is freaking. Honestly, he will be unbelievable. But that's why I'm so harsh on him. Just like Bruno, that's why people are harsh on Bruno, Sean, because he's so good. People want him to level up even more and go Super Saiyan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People in our fan base, and agree with me, yes or no, they're the most harshest on our best players. Or they're supposed to be our best players. Think about it, right? People go in on Martial because they know he's freaking so good. They're going hard on him, right? They're going hard on Rashford. They're going hard on Bruno. They're going hard on Maguire because Maguire was 80 million and he played better at Leicester, but all of a sudden he's freaking rubbish, like at United. We go in hard at people that are supposed to be good or they're bought to be good. That's the players we go hard in, and that's why Rashford gets a little bit of grief. But
all right, so let me hear this, right? Because I hear Zach, I totally agree with you, man. Yeah. Like we want Rashford to go up there, and that's why we judge him by the highest standards. I personally think there's a lot of things. I don't think it's just decision making. That is one of the reasons why Mbappe is far ahead of him. I think there's a lot more things that Mbappe does better currently that Rashford does not do. But hear about this. We're talking about Martial and Rashford, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think has made more out of their potential, and who's getting the best out of themselves when you look at the two players?
Rashford.
I would agree with you. So why is always the focus on Rashford when we know Tony's got so much potential, right? And everyone will not dispute the potential, the talent, natural ability, because I think as a football player, I would always say that natural raw ability, I think Tony is got more than Rashford. But I think Rashford, because of his mindset and his commitment to development, I feel he's always going to, in the long run over their career, outperform Tony. But why is Tony not getting the best out of himself?
This is Rashford's getting more criticism because he's doing output without always not even playing amazing. That's why the fan base always go attract themselves to people that are doing well but can do better. Do you see what I'm saying?
But what were you saying? Can Tony not do better?
No, Tony can do better, but Tony's
because we've just said Rashford's getting more out of his potential than Tony is.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Where's the focus on Anthony?
Martial's not producing anything, so the only criticism Martial's getting is that he's not playing well. Is this the fan base want to do what they want to do? At the moment, Martial is not even in contention to be really critiqued because he's not doing enough. But Rashford he's so important to us. He's so crucial to this team. He's got so many important goals. So the fan base want to see more. Do you see what I'm saying? He's in the highlight more. This is the thing, right? Rashford's getting so many opportunities. He's putting himself in those opportunities. And Ollie came out today in a press conference and said, look, I understand Rashford needs to improve, but he's in the right places to get those chances. I get that. So if you're in the right places, Sean, you're going to get more critique. You're in the light, mate. If you're in the dark, no one's going to flick and see you. So they can't even critique you. Because he's in the light, he's getting more critique because he's missing more chances than Martial. He's getting into opportunities where he should be doing better in his decision making. So that's why he's getting more critique.
So do you know what it is? I guess I look at I agree with that. I think I just look at it differently because I'm like, I would look at that as a positive rather than a way to beat him on the head over. I'll be like, do you know what? He's getting in those positions. He's causing havoc. He's affecting the game. Every game, whether he's playing well or bad, he is always in the right positions and he's affecting the game. And I look at that
that's why he gets
so even though he's missing those bloody chances, which is rubbish, I'll be looking at it as a positive. Say, okay, keep going, keep putting yourself there, keep doing it, and you're going to do it. But the guy who's on the left hand side doing bugger all, I'll be looking at him saying, why are you not getting it? Why have you got more bags of potential? Why are we not seeing it? Why are you not getting fitter?
Sean, how do you know that's not happening behind the scenes?
I'm not. It might be happening behind the scenes. What I'm saying is, I'm not hearing about it. I'm not hearing our fans talking about it.
No. Our fans, basically, our fans are a little bit brittle. They're saying that, Martial will be better probably in a different system or in a different coaching or in a different team. Like if we got a player, we always want to like back them and sort of like defend them. 100%, it's a natural thing. But again, he's not becoming crucial to our team, so we'll back him just towards the outer effect. But when it comes to Rashford, because he's so crucial now and we need him, like that chance yesterday, right? In front of goal, you've got to be finishing that. And that's Absolutely. Not even, and everybody agree with that. But we're saying you've got to be finishing that because we want you to be elite. We want you to get to that next level. And to get to that next level, you've got to be finishing those chances. It comes from a place of ambition and pushing them up to a next level. And that's why we say this, because Rashford can go, I think, loads of people saying, Rashford's done. He can't go further than what he is right now. I honestly think he can. I honestly
think he can. He's 23.
He's 23. I think he's got at least 10, 11
level
years
to go.
Imagine when he starts putting on weight. He's not even putting on weight yet.
Bro, you just see Rashford take his top off, mate. The guy he's an animal.
I'm saying
he is an animal.
He's not even reached his full weight. Like he's not even got that muscle coming on yet. Imagine when his calves get bigger.
But this is what I'm saying, Dom. I agree with you. So I'm saying, right, just give the guy some time, right? Give him patience because imagine, look at where he is at right now. 2-3 years from now, where do we? What kind of Marcus Rashford are we going to have, right? And people are wanting him to make his decision making change overnight. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. This journey of development is going to be over, you might see, in the next 12 to 24 months. And in 24 months' time, if Rashford is still running down blind alleys, then we've got a problem. Then we've got a problem. If he's 25, 26, still running down blind alleys and doing stupidness on the ball, then you're going to have to look at it and say, well, hang on, we're going to have to bring someone else in for your position. That's what I'm saying to you. Tony is at that age now. He's 25 going on 26, and he's still not fulfilling the potential that everyone believes, because we can't say we know, right? Because we don't know. We believe that he's got the glimpses of quality that he shows, right?
Sure, he could be elite.
And that's why I say, Tony, if he doesn't sort it out, he's going to be the next Jesse Lingard. He's going to be gone by 28. He's going to be gone out of Man United.
Di Maria and all the people that kind of, they blame it on everybody else except themselves. Martial is a great player, but he's not doing it on the pitch. Do you remember when he was scoring for fun and it was a battle between Rashford and Martial? I don't know what's happening. Sometimes people don't think about the home lives, the backgrounds. Some people didn't even know that Juan Mata was flicking, had some holiday because of personal reasons.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
But what I'm saying is that just like Vibes FC, Rashford could easily become a club legend, and I genuinely believe he has the potential to be one of the best players. So do I, and that's why I'm critical of him. And Sean, I understand you're like, yes, he just needs more time. I get that, and I completely agree. He needs more time, and I think with more time, he'll get better and better. It's just because, like, you know, when you're like, it's not a simple thing that he can't head the ball or he's rubbish at free kicks. He needs time. The thing that he needs to improve is actually quite simple. It's really
you would think that, right? You would think that, but Dom, I coach, and it's crazy because it's like you could tell. And as a coach, I tell my kids when we're training, and you tell them 100 times. I even take a free kick, right? And I'll demonstrate it for them, and I'll wrap it in the top corner, one chance. Then I'll say to them, just go and do that. I've shown you how to do it. I've broken down the technique time and time again. I've told you what to do if we're talking about decision making. When you get to this position, do this, cross, pass there, do that. But and they're listening to you, and it's like it's going in one ear and out the other. But Dom, then as soon as the match situation comes and they're actually in the zone, in that situation, they got 1,000,001 different thought patterns going through their mind. It's not as easy as you would think, is to say, you do that, and then the next game you go out and do it. It's got to become part of, you have to learn it. You have to study it, learn it, revise it, and then remember it. So it becomes natural to you. Actually, when I'm in that position, I've been taught that before. I've done that decision, bad pass before. I have to actually stop that. And now I have to recorrect that. And it's almost like rewiring your whole brain. And if you've been playing that way up until the age of 23, it's not as simple as being able to quickly just unpick that wire and start it again. Yes, it's a process.
But you know what, though, right? Yes or no? After games, they have a video analyst team, and they go back and say, okay, you should have passed here, Cavani was here, or you should have done that, or why are you not pressing here, right? And that makes me actually more agree with you, because Rashford's seeing the chances he's missing. He's seeing the times when he's running into brick walls, and he keeps doing it.
He keeps doing it.
You know what? That's why it frustrates me. Because he's probably gone in after Real Sociedad day, and he went in. He's gone to the canteen. He's got a cup of tea, and he's like, "You're right, lads. Yeah, good. Yeah, you had a good week. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Oh, we're gonna go look at the video. All right, cool. I'll meet you in there. I'm just gonna go and get some chicken or something, or get some waffles. I had a good game. I like chicken and waffles, by the way. I like chicken and waffles. So he goes in there. Everybody's watching the video. He said, oh, what have I missed? Oh, yeah, well, you missed. We just replayed. You went into a brick wall about 3 times when we were shouting for the ball. What do you have to say about that? And you're telling me he's like, yeah, I did, you know. You know what? I'm going to remember that for next game. Next game, he'll run into 4 brick walls. And that's why I feel like the fan base are so frustrated, because we know you cannot. And that's what makes me feel like, is there a mental block? Because if he's looking at it and he's still doing it, why is he doing it?
Yeah, he's got to rewire the way his brain works. The same way conversely, you look at a guy like Juan Mata, all the players that you talked about, Donny van der Beek, their brains are wired that way naturally. That's how they see the picture. That's how they see the game. If you start saying to Juan Mata, right, I want you to start dribbling past 10 players and run into a brick wall, he's going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't play football like that. That's not my game. Whether it's the right thing or wrong thing to do, You're
Yeah.
still teaching him a new behavior that's not natural to him.
Yeah. And also Rashford, well, he probably still thinks he's a striker. So his first thing is to try and get past 5 men and shoot. He thinks he needs to be the person. He needs to be the Bruno. He needs to be the most important person on the pitch, and he needs to make something happen rather than letting the team and the ball make something happen. Because that's what you see with the likes of Diallo. I know it's a little cameo. That's what like you see in the likes of Mata, Van de Beek. They're all enablers. Where Rashford feels like, no, I need to take this upon myself. And when I get in the box, I might just completely miss and not hear anything else that anybody's saying because I'm running down this tunnel and I've got to make it count. And I guess with this situation, maybe it will be a year, maybe it will be 2 years before he actually grows up mentally and physically and realize, wait a minute, my football IQ is going to enhance now because I've realized where I've gone wrong and how I can improve myself because it's not working at the moment, Sean. He's watching the video. It's not working. It's
not working. Another player who I think used to frustrate us. Look at Nani, right? Remember that guy, Nani? He came in, all the technical ability in the world. Technically, when he came in, people say he was at least level with Ronaldo, if not more technically proficient than Ronaldo. The things he could do
so fast.
Correct. But what was his problem? The same problem. Decision making, when to dribble, when to pass, when to cross, when to shoot. He had all the technical attributes in the world. But Dom, he never ever got it. I think he had like maybe 18 months where he started delivering for us consistently, and then he fell off again once the team fell off. Right? It's never. And that's why I say Rashford may never get it. I hope he will, because I think he's got a little bit more about him than Nani. But that's a perfect example of a player who had all the potential and never, ever developed that side of his game to the point where it could take him to where he's supposed to be.
Remember, he said a really good point here. He's played under so many different systems during a younger year, where you build your mold and your DNA of how you play as a footballer. Do you know what I mean? Like, he had so many different systems. If he played his whole time, like 4 years, 5 years under LVG, I think he'll be more of a team player, just naturally. But he played under flicking everyone. Do you know what I mean? He's played under everyone. So he's got all these different sort of like
ideologies, different ways of playing football.
Different ways of playing and philosophies. And, you know, Jose, is you buddy the philosophy. You know, Jose always talked about the philosophy. And I was just like...
So you started to sound like LVG, the philosophy. Before LVG came, no one was talking about philosophies, bro. Like, it was just football. It was football. LVG comment, they have to play my philosophy.
Hey,
they have to play my philosophy.
Tell me what
it's just like, what's going on, man? Yeah, talk to me, bro.
First goal scorer, Newcastle.
Score prediction. I'm going to say that we are going to win the game and it's going to be a 3-1 win. And I'm backing the first goal scorer. It's got to be. I'm going Bruno.
All right, I'm going
Bruno.
I'm going with a 3-1 win as well. And with the team I'm playing, 3-1 win. Not based on like if we play just like, you know, the typical Ollie stubborn team. We still could win with that team, 100%, because we've got good players, but I just don't know about it. So I'm going 3-1. And I feel like with my team, Cavani's going to score first. I feel like we're in a good position. Guys, don't forget to come back for the match reaction straight on Sunday night. We'll have all the guys here with their thoughts and reactions, because this is such an important game. Like, it's so important. If we lose or draw, I'll be honest with you, this place is going to be...
No, it's going to erupt, bro. It's going to go crazy on Sunday.
It's going to be good.
And you know me, I love Ollie. I love the team. But I'm not accepting anything else in 3 points this week. Yeah, I'm telling you.
If we don't get 3 points against Newcastle, this is not going to be a good stream. I've said it now.
Tom, imagine, I don't even want to think about it, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
So, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. I want to say a big up to Ian again. He's freaking done so amazing.
Yeah, big up Ian in the mods.
He's flicking awesome. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, come back to the match reaction on Sunday, but have a freaking amazing weekend. Enjoy your weekend before we play Newcastle, just in case, so it doesn't ruin it. Do you know what I mean? But I feel we can win it. We got to win it, and we're Manchester United. Let's just get the 3 points. Have beautiful, wonderful evenings. Peace out. A-Town down.
Yeah.